and welcome to episode 184 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And we are a Dungeons & Dragons social commentary podcast where we focus on the social aspect of D&D.
We give out advice to dungeon masters and players, old and new.
And the most important thing we believe in is creating a safe, inclusive, and welcome space in the TTRPG community.
We sure do, so if that sounds good to you, welcome in.
Hey, come in. We're not gonna make you strap in today. Oh no, we are.
You gotta be strapped in.
Oh no, we are.
You gotta be either strapped in or locked in.
I got the wrong memo.
You need to be strapped in or locked in.
I got the strap on.
I got the strap on memo.
Yeah.
I got the strap on memo.
Yeah.
Not the strap in
Yeah.
memo. Or was it just simply a typo?
Yeah. Oh, go on then. Go on.
Strap on.
Go on.
The
shackles once again.
Lock in.
On your ankles. Hello. How are we doing? Hello. I hope everyone has had a wonderful week. End. Time is a weird soup.
Time is a weird soup.
I hope everyone has had a good weekend. What have you been up to? I hope you've had a good time. I hope everyone is all right. I hope everyone is hanging on in there.
Hope everyone is well.
I know that...
You're not sick?
Yes.
Tell me if you're sick down in the comments.
I'm sick.
I'm poorly sick.
I'm sick. I'm poorly sick. Yeah. I hope everyone is all right. I hope you're doing well. Again, don't want to harp on it for too long. Scary time right now.
Locked in.
Especially for our American friends.
Yeah.
So sending you lots and lots and lots of love. Just know we're always here and we're always thinking about you.
Yeah, we love you.
Indeed.
My heart goes out to you.
Indeed. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm good. I've got a scrungly throat today, I will say.
Scrungly throat?
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, oh, throat's a little bit scrungly. We went out for a meal.
Yeah, went out for a Japanese meal. A succulent Japanese meal.
For Abby's birthday.
Yeah.
And just a lot of chit-chatting, a lot of yapping, to be honest with you. And then this always happens to me when it starts to get like properly cold in UK.
It's cold at the minute. Oh, baby, is it cold. Last night.
Oh my God,
damn.
so cold.
It was like 3 degrees.
Yeah, and I know comparatively to the rest of the world it's not that cold, but it's cold for us.
Hey, I'm still allowed to feel cold.
True. Amen.
Just because you're cold, it doesn't invalidate my coldness.
My cold.
Okay?
My shiver. My timbers being shivered.
Oh my God, my timbers are always shivered.
So when it gets cold like this, on an evening, I'm really sensitive to it.
Yeah.
I could have left it at that.
I'm
really sensitive.
I do like it though. I like being out in the cold and coming into my warm house.
I do too.
I must say, it's like there's something that hits different about being like, we take the dog for a walk at like 10 p.m. like after we stream and stuff like that, and then we come into a warm house and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it is.
Or like it's quite cold in the house and I get in the bed and I'm like,
yeah.
Like I don't know what it is. I just really enjoy being cold and then getting warm.
Yeah, I agree, and it's much nicer than being warm than getting cold.
Yeah, being warm. Being too warm stinks.
Yeah.
I hate being too warm. Being too warm is very, very... It's annoying more than anything.
It is.
Because I feel like the thing is with being cold to getting to warm, I feel like that's something that you can instantly rectify and feel good about.
And it's comforting going from cold to warm. Going from warm to cold is just a relief and not in a fun, cool way.
Desperate.
Yeah.
You're like desperate to... So when I'm too hot and I'm sweating and I put a fan on me, it's like I don't go, I go... Hurry up.
Thank God. Yeah, here he is. I was just about to say dog not joining us, but dog is joining us potentially. You coming up? No, okay.
Well, he's having to scrungle around first.
Yep. Nearly bumped into you.
Yeah,
hey, get out of the way of my dog.
Get out of his way.
Hey, what are you doing?
Why are you stood in his way so
you're
much?
shackled. Oh, they're shackled. They're shackled. Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry.
You strapped on? I mean in.
I mean on. Gosh, what was I going to say? I can't even recall. But we went out for a meal.
It was delicious.
It was really, really good fun.
Succulent
Japanese meal. I think that's kind of it, to be honest with you. We haven't really done much.
It's Margaret's birthday in 2 days.
It is. It's my birthday,
it's Margaret's birthday on Wednesday. Make sure that you spam happy birthday in the Discord.
November
Every
20th.
single person.
I'm a Scorpio.
If you don't remember, might I kick you out the Discord? I don't know.
You are?
Might I kick you out the Discord? I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I won't really.
Here's my baby.
Unless.
Here's my baby.
Hello, pudding.
For anyone wondering, no, I'm not doing anything for my birthday. Never do.
We're going out and buying picture frames.
Well, yeah. So I'm the gift person. I like receipt. The thing is, when kids like to get quantity over quality,
That's you.
And kids are happy to get loads of tat that means nothing, but just because there's loads of it, that's me. I'm the that's absolutely me.
You're the tat.
I'm the I'm
I did just say the B word.
You did.
Put it on just in case.
You did. I'm the tat lady.
Tat lady.
I like having tat, but this year I was like, ever since we moved into when did we move into this house? How long has it been?
7 years ago. 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
2017.
2017.
And it's 2024. Yeah.
Yeah. It was September though, so I think it's actually maybe 8 years.
No. That was 7 years in September.
Oh gosh, you could have said anything, and I would have been. You got such a goopy eye.
No, we'll have to wash it out after this. Yeah, 7 years in September, just gone.
Yeah.
We've been in this house.
Ever since day one we've moved in, I've been like, I'm going to buy
I can't wait to put
loads
so
of
many
picture frames.
Oh my god.
I'm going to get picture frames.
I'm such a
I'm going to
picture
put
lady.
art in them. I'm going to have a whole wall. Has that happened in the 7 years we lived here? No. Do I have more art on my person than I ever had?
Yes.
Yeah. I do. Actually.
You do be having a lot of art.
I do, and that's because of you. That's because you guys are like, hey, yeah, let's just do loads of art.
Yeah. So Margaret said, I was like, "What do you want for your birthday?"
Like,
she said, "I don't want anything but your time."
Yes, I don't want anything apart from.
But we're gonna. So the plan is, we wake up Mackie's breakfast.
Yeah.
We wake up Mackie's breakfast. We go out. We might get a PSL. Might get a pumpkin spice latte. Because Margaret's a big fan of them as well.
Probably not in stock anymore, but that's okay.
It's winter.
Yeah, they're like an autumn thing, though. I guess it technically was still in autumn.
We'll get a coffee from somewhere.
Yep.
And we'll go around all the charity shops and pick up all the picture frames that you want.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and then we'll start to put the art in the picture frames and put them on the wall.
Yep, that's all I wanted.
I don't know how we're going to put them on the wall.
This wall, we can just do command strips.
Oh, you want to put them on this wall? I thought you would put the wall downstairs.
Both.
Ah, yeah, this wall's easy.
Have I planned out the wall. I took a screenshot.
Planned out the wall.
So I took a screenshot of the set. I worked out the exact size of these books. I made the exact size of these books on a document on Photoshop, brought it all into Photoshop. I made the document the exact right size of this, and then I made corresponding frames, like standard sizes like A5 and A4, and I organized the wall because I can't be normal about anything.
Look, are they diagnosing you right now?
I think not.
I think so.
I think they're the ones in shackles. So I don't know. I'd
get strapped on.
I'm in. So yeah, all I wanted was your time and because the thing is, I don't know how to put a frame up on the wall.
I mean, if it's command strips, you do, but it doesn't matter. We'll do it together.
Yeah, but we have where the old podcast set used to be on that brick wall. Oh, geez, you'll remember. That's where we play D&D. That's like the main focal point of our downstairs, like outside of our living room, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I want to put all the pictures of my D&D characters.
Yeah. That's the issue. I don't know if we can command strip them to the wall.
No, I don't think so. But you know what? Your mother would know.
My mother would know.
Your mother is somewhat of a DIY.
She is a bit of a DIY
queen.
Yeah, she's a bit of a DIY queen.
Yeah.
She's a bit of a crazy DIY lady.
Yeah,
who's really good at it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right. Maybe we just ask her.
Yeah, I've just said, plan out a route for me so you know where we're going.
Yeah.
Take me to all the charity shops that do all the frames.
Not that I know if they do frames or not.
Yeah.
We can go in and look.
Yeah. Plan out a route because, listen, I can't be normal about anything.
Diagnosing you?
Spoiler, I can't be normal about anything. So I'm the type of person where I have to exactly plan where we're going to go. I need to have a plan for it, and that's very exhausting for me. So you taking that, all I want for my birthday is for that all to be taken off my plate, you to chaperone me around as if you don't anyway, and buy me some photo frames.
What I'll do is I'll just Google charity shops, and then I'll just plan them out in like a route to come home.
Will you make a map for me?
Yeah,
I can't read a map. There's no need to do that.
Yeah, but I'll make you a map anyway.
No need to do that. And the only other thing I wanted was a commission of my next character because I haven't yet. Oh my gosh. Goodness.
I mean, we've only just finished our campaign.
True.
Literally last week have we just finished our campaign.
Yeah, I know, but I've known who my next character is for ages.
Yeah.
You know, like I planned her out honestly ages ago.
Yeah.
So I do need to get that sorted.
Yeah. Well, you got time.
Yeah.
Time. There's not that there's no rush because you want to get it because it's exciting. But you know, like, don't worry that you haven't got it done already.
Yeah.
You know.
Speaking of D&D, oh my gosh, we started our one shot.
Yes.
We started Matthew's one shot, which is he's confirmed is going to be a 4-shot now.
Yeah, he reckons it's going to be a 4-shot.
Because we took a while to get through like the first session, as we tend to do in one shots. Do you want to tell them our characters?
Yeah, my character's name is Ethel Brandy Bucket.
Yes.
He is for mechanical purposes, he is a dwarf, but he just looks like a very big round human. He's got a big old barrel belly. He's got big chunky fingers. He's got a big round head. He's got a big mustache with big blue eyes. He wears blue dungarees and nothing else. And he's a world tree barbarian. And I have 152 hit points at level 8.
Yeah. Go on, how much AC?
20.
Yeah.
I put 5 in my constitution, 5 in so I've got 5 in constitution, 5 in strength because we do buff standard array and I didn't take any feats.
Yep.
I've got +1 from dwarf to all my hit points. I've got +2 from tough to all my hit points. So when I was rolling my D12 hit dice, I was adding 8.
Yeah. Nice.
And there you go.
You didn't tell them about the theming of your weapons.
Oh, I have, so my shield is a bale of hair. I have a pitchfork, which is a trident, and I have a cowbell with a chain attached to it and a handle, which is my flail.
Yay!
And that is Ethel.
That's Ethel.
Ethel Brandy Bucket.
And then my character.
It talks like this now.
My character is Kane Brandy Bucket. And is that an Ethel Kane reference in my D&D game? Yes, it certainly is. Kane is Ethel's daughter.
Yes.
Now, she looks kind of weird, right?
Look, she's a goat.
Look, she's a goat. Hey, look, she's a sentient goat.
She's a goat that has been brought to life by black magic.
Yeah, Ethel can't read.
Ethel can't read, but he found a black magic book, a book of dark rituals, and somehow began to just like...
He accidentally incanted a spell.
I somehow incanted a spell and brought my favorite goat, because I'm a farmer, to life, and now she's my daughter.
Yeah, now he's my peepaw.
My peepaw.
My peepaw. And Kane is what is she? The percentages change. She's 80% black magic. She's 20% her father's love, and she's 1% goat.
1% goat, and that's 135%.
That's 135%.
Yeah,
of pure love.
And that's our bit.
Yeah, and
every
that's our bit.
time someone asks what she is, she gives random percentages, and then I give a total random percentage.
Because everyone's like, "What are you?" Great question.
Great question. Let me tell you.
So Kane, and also Ethel's like 6.5 foot, and Kane's like 4 foot, and it's very cute and sweet.
4 foot's max. She's a goat standing on.
She's a goat standing on
2 legs.
Sometimes she stands on 4 legs.
Sometimes when she forgets she can walk on 2 legs, she walks on 4 legs.
And you know that thing that goats do when they get scared and they get paralyzed and fall over? She's constantly doing that, so you constantly have to carry her around. You know that meme? I've mentioned it on our Patreon stream where it's like someone's first time playing D&D. They're like, I am Alfred the God Slayer. I am
Shadowbringer. The assassin rogue.
Who fell from grace.
Whose angel wings have been taken from him as he's fallen from the heavens. Fight my way back into the gates of heaven.
Yeah, and then it's like a veteran D&D player.
I'm a goat.
I'm a mage hand with a baguette.
I'm a farmer.
I'm a goat. So Kane, she is a mercy monk. She's a warrior. It's a warrior of mercy.
Warrior of mercy.
Warrior
That's what they've all been changed to. Warriors of shadow. Warriors of mercy.
Yeah. She is actually mechanically a human. Because I wanted to get the second origin feat, so I could also get tough.
And you get the heroic inspiration.
Yeah, and the heroic inspiration.
I told you. I kept, every time we were talking about like classes for your next D&D character, I was like, don't underestimate human. Human's good.
Yeah.
And you were like, heroic inspiration. And then you failed the same.
And then I
you
used the heroic
just
inspiration.
Had a long rest and you were like, hey, I got my heroic inspiration back.
It felt good. It did
feels
feel
great.
Good. It really did. And with human, you get the extra origin feat. And so I have Tavern Brawler because I'm a monk and I want to be able to reroll the 1s and 2s. The other stuff is kind of irrelevant.
Because you can already do that.
Because I can already do it as a monk. And I have Tough. I have a 20 AC. I have 103 hit points. What else? Monk's really fun. I will say,
great.
Monk's really fun.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to do 1,000 attacks in one go? Go ahead. Hey, you want to stun something? Go ahead. You want to poison something? Go ahead. You want to heal someone? Go ahead. It's great.
Well, that's Warrior of Mercy.
That is Warrior Mercy specifically.
Yeah. Monkey's great now.
So many key
Deflect
points.
attacks. Get your key points back.
We're
when you
level
roll
8, by the way.
initiative.
Yeah, we're level 8.
It feels good.
Yeah,
it feels real good.
So those are our one-shot characters,
Yeah.
a father and daughter duo who, I don't know anything, actually,
not
to be honest
really.
with you. Apart from they love each other and they love their friends.
They don't know much now.
But I know I love my friends.
I know I love my people.
I know I love my people. I love my people.
And that's our voices.
Yeah. Jack's much better than I am.
No, I don't think so. Do you know what? Didn't even know I could do that voice.
Yeah.
It just happened when we started.
And you know what? We'll tell you properly. Well, no, we actually won't. We won't tell you properly on Thursday's episode at all, because Thursday's episode is going to be quite a big episode that we're probably going to have to get straight into, to be honest with you. But the actual premise of the one shot is this is Matthew. Matthew likes to run like a contained thing like this. It's basically it's called Between the Sheets. It's a big orgy. It's not.
Well,
Yet.
Not yet.
And
it's time, though.
it's basically, it takes us through scenarios of like classic books. So far we've done Moby Dick. That's where we
fought
started.
Moby Dick. That was the first fight.
We then moved into Dracula, which is where we're at now.
We're in Dracula's castle.
He says there's 3 more. Our guesses are Dr. Jekyll and
Frankenstein?
Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein, and Alice in Wonderland.
Alice in Wonderland, or it could be Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, but he gave us the playing cards.
All of us a playing card.
We had to pick a
each.
playing card at the beginning. He was like, it'll become relevant later. But so I think it's going to be Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
But it could honestly be anything.
Yeah.
And we found the magic book called Between the Sheets, and you can write the laws of the universe in it. And every time we roll a natural 20,
we get to add a law in.
We get to add a law in.
So we added a law in that tough now gives you 4 extra hit points per level instead of 2.
Yep.
Josh added a rule that,
oh my god, because he's playing a fucking gnome, by the way.
He's playing a gnome.
Yeah.
He added that gnomes get expertise in all skills. So when Matthew rolls a natural 20, he can strike a rule out.
Or he can modify a rule.
So we were in the water in the first one.
So we were like, all land mammals can breathe underwater.
And then he was like, and then he rolled a natural 20 and changed it to land mammals can only breathe underwater.
Yeah.
So then we had to like get a natural 20 and change that back. So yeah, there's like a little fun mechanic where there's a book. When we get a natural 20, we can
and if we roll a natural 1, he also gets to strike.
There's a few like core rules with though, like you can't
target a specific person.
Like Ethel can't have his own rule.
Yes. It doesn't recognize allegiances
or morality or anything like that. So you can't just be like, Dracula actually just loves us.
Yeah.
Like you can't do things like that.
And you can't target specific objects. Yeah. You can't be like, oh, that lamp never existed. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Again, we've only done the one session. But yeah, we'll keep you updated as we go on.
We started to get into the politics of it. Josh went for a crazy one. He gave himself expertise in all skills. And I was like, I'm gonna give myself something strong.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna give myself something as strong as Josh gave him.
Wild.
So
Matthew has to strike out Josh's
so Matthew
roll.
goes to strike Josh's out. So it's like the politics of you want it to be strong, but not the most ridiculously strong. So Matthew doesn't target it.
Yeah.
So
you wanted to have a hierarchy
so
of.
We've all still got.
Yeah.
And obviously Abby was the only person who didn't have
tough. So we were like,
all Dragonborns get tough.
She actually isn't a Dragonborn. She's a fire genasi.
They aren't in the new 2024.
Yeah.
So it was like thinking of the politics of that.
Yeah. Good fun. Good fun.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
I love the games in between because we can just be silly. And we can just do whatever we want, and it's good fun. So yeah, that's Ethel and Cain.
There you go.
Ethel and Cain Brandy Bucket, everyone.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, a couple of things. I mentioned briefly there that get your toes out of your mouth, and you. Why's everyone's got their toes in their mouth?
The dog. Stop it, bully.
What's with everyone? Why does everyone have their feet in their mouth? Huh? I'd like to know. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'll sort them out, don't worry.
I mentioned briefly there that the next episode we're going to do is once again going to be more of a talk piece. It's not going to be like a reactionary thing like this is. The topic is going to be Dungeons and Dragons and self-identity and self-expression. I haven't worked out like a catchy title for it, but I would just like to say thank you so much to everyone who has sent in responses to the surveys.
Yeah.
Again, they're not reactionary content, but we have taken quotes from
from people,
from what you've sent in, and we're using them as talking points, basically, which is really nice. So thank you. And we have a couple of surveys up at the minute in the Discord. If you would like to take part, they could potentially be featured in one of these talk pieces. And thank you, everyone, for last Thursday's episode, the D&D 2024 one.
Is it heading in the right direction?
Yeah, thank you.
Showed a lot of love. It's scary doing different content.
Yeah, it is.
But the video is performing well for different content for us.
Yeah.
We're really, really, really happy with that. And you guys, get yourselves in the comments and
you
talk
did.
about the things
you
that
really
you did like and
really
didn't
interesting comments on
it
it as
good,
well. Yeah.
It's good to know people's perspective on the books and stuff like that, and where they think it's heading in the right direction, and what they don't like about it. And stuff like that,
and if you're going to use it going forward, yeah. So thank you for that, and of course, videos like that aren't going to perform as well as our standard content, but
it's doing really well,
and
which is really good.
You know what? When we edited it and it was all done, I was like, I just really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
I just really enjoyed it, and that was fun for me, and that's what matters. As long as we stick to keeping it fresh for us, it doesn't matter. So the next one is a little bit more personal to me. It's a little bit more nuanced. I think it's actually more of an overarching, more important conversation to have. So tune in on
get in on
Thursday.
that one. Get in on that one.
Yeah,
Talk
indeed.
to us about your journey with D&D and identity and things like that, because I know a lot of people have had it, so we want to hear you in the comments.
Yeah, indeed. And being honest, I don't know how the longevity of doing a talk piece that in depth every week is going to be for me.
But that's the thing, you don't need to do it every week.
Yeah.
Maybe you could do one a month. Maybe you could do one every 2 weeks.
That's honestly kind of what I'm thinking, is maybe just doing one a month. But it's important to start getting them out there and seeing how people like them.
I agree. I think, and the last one went really well, and I think people are going to really like this one. So I think, if you want to bring it down to one a month,
maybe,
then do it, because we've got so many other things to do.
Yeah.
That people send us in submissions for. Yeah. That it would probably make sense to do one a month.
Yeah, no, I agree. And finally, before we get into it, this is a reminder, this week, this Sunday, over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Eldritch Podblast, we have our very first guests. We have Raina and Dave from Careful Cantrip, another more D&D creators, another actual play. They're wonderful friends, and they're going to be our first guests for something.
Yeah. So come and join us on Twitch this Friday and this Sunday, especially for Careful Cantrip.
Yes.
Cheers, Bull. As we talk to them about D&D, they've got an actual play. They're really great people. It's a lot of chaos in stream, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, come and join us.
Yes, indeed.
And also, go and check out our Pride collection, which is currently live on www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. 10% of all of the Pride t-shirts and hoodies that you buy go to a local charity to us called Heart Gables, who are an LGBTQIA plus charity.
We'll be making our first donation relatively soon at the time that you see this, actually. Because this goes out on the 18th. Yeah, by the time you see this next week, we'll be making our first donation, which is very exciting.
Very exciting.
So thank you very much. And with that, shall we get into topic?
Let's do it, baby.
Thank you so much to all our patrons over at Patreon.
You have no idea how much we appreciate your support.
If you want to support us over at Patreon and gain access to our exclusive content,
like our D&D campaign updates and our extra monthly live streams,
click the link in the description. More about Patreon at the end of this video. Thank you.
All right. So today, you know what? Today, this one is a slightly different one.
Yeah.
This, once again, I would like to say thank you to Teddy, who
Teddy's a god.
Honestly, Teddy, you constantly put things onto Eldritch Podblast subreddit. Thank you so very much. You have really, really great posts on there. And this one is, what is the worst advice you could give to a new TM?
I can't wait for this. This is gonna be great. Because the thing is, we do a lot of advice on this channel, and we've got a lot of some advice that is quite popular that we don't like. Just from being in the community quite a lot. I'm excited to see what some of these say.
Honestly, God, why do I sound like that? Oh, I'm struggling. Oh my gosh.
Breathe through it. Oh my god.
Honestly, these are so funny. There's so many of these that are just funny.
I can't wait. You okay?
Yes. You know what, Jack? I thought you were going to clap out there because I can hear the dog crying.
No.
I'm sorry. I was preempting a clap out.
No. He's just being a crybaby.
Well,
I'm stroking his chest and he's not crying.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought
it, huh?
My dog.
A crybaby. No way.
Dear.
With this as a mother? No way. So these are all Reddit posts. And shall we just get into it?
Yeah, let's rip it.
So the first one is... never say no to anything. Whatever the players come up with will be just fine and won't break the game at all.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
There's literally nowhere that they could say
No.
something and you not being able to say no.
No,
could go
absolutely.
wrong for
Yeah,
you.
no. I don't see a situation in which you should say no. Yeah, can we overthrow the king and turn this place into a big rave? Yeah, I think so.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah,
I got a natural
absolutely.
20. Oh, and I got a plus 10. That's a 30. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
You're now the king, queen, and
Yeah.
rulers of the land.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, I agree.
What? You're level 1?
Yeah. I think saying no is I think that's the cardinal sin as a DM.
I look. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I think that there is times where saying no is bad.
Yeah,
There is.
I agree.
There's times where saying no is the wrong thing to do. Like saying no when we're talking about things, people just want to try things, and if they're not too outrageous, hey, if the dice say yes, you want to maybe have a spell do something different. Hey, you do maybe want to try something that's a little like odds are not in your favor, but you want to give it a go because this is D&D, and sometimes like fun things can happen when we roll the dice.
Yeah.
And hey, you roll really well, but it's not something that's going to fundamentally destroy and break your entire campaign.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy for those things. But yeah, when you walk into the king's chamber and you say, hey, motherfucker, give me the crown. When you say yeah or hey, give me a roll, it's just like, why are you like and yeah, and the whole thing is it's just like you can roll to see if he doesn't throw you in the prison.
Yeah.
And never to see the light of day again. I get it, but you're not rolling to see if you get the crown.
Yeah. I'm sorry, your phone has recognized it thinks that we're talking to it and it's just like transcribing all of our words.
No.
I could just see it literally
I could
feeding
see you
back.
looking at something.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was at first. There we go. I wonder what made it think that you were talking to it.
I don't know.
But yeah, no, I agree. I feel like I feel like one of the first things you're told as a DM is do not be afraid to say no.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think the problem is a lot of early Dungeon Master advice is like try to say yes, like yes, and yes, this, yes, that, and that'll land you in so much fucking trouble. And you're gonna be in over your head so quickly that it is true. I think better advice is don't be scared to say no.
Yeah.
If it's ridiculous, don't be scared to say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no.
I completely agree. Like going to the BBG and being like, hey, can you just go away?
Can you just leave?
Could we just stop?
Could you be nice?
Yeah.
Oh yes, sure.
Yeah.
Maybe why?
And then there's also the thing of like the cheesiness, right?
Yeah.
Of creating what is it like the peasant canyon? Or,
oh my god!
Like, you know what
cannon?
I mean? Like,
oh my god!
Again, rules is written. Yeah, sure, but that's a perfect example of saying no. But no, yeah, I think never say no to anything.
The amount of times that Josh has threatened to make a peasant
yeah,
cannon in our game
yeah, whatever.
You've said it a million
sure.
times, Josh.
All right.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when you have a player like Josh who is really creative and does like to think quite outside the box, you do not want to thwart his creativity.
Yeah.
Like me as a dungeon master, if I was I do like to say yes to Josh, but it's yes in the bounds of if you roll really high, then maybe if you don't roll high, it's still like a success that might take a long time or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't want to say no to them all the time, but you also need to say no when it's outrageous.
Yeah, I agree. The next one is have a lot of scenes that involve you just talking with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Have the king talk with the jester more than he does the adventuring group that he invited to the party.
Yeah, that's why we all turned up to D&D.
I agree.
To watch the dungeon master roleplay with themselves.
I completely agree.
I will say we have had an instance.
We have had an instance
we
like
have
this.
been at a game where it was the first game we'd ever played with them.
Yes.
And the first 15 minutes of the game was the dungeon master
role playing 4 different people.
Was the dungeon master playing a bard?
Yep.
And then
playing the barkeep.
Playing the barkeep who
server.
was interested in what the bard was saying.
Yeah.
So they were like, what songs are you going to be playing tonight? And then the bard was like role-playing back to them.
Yeah.
And
then,
we just sat there for 15 minutes.
And then there was the server who was serving us who suddenly was then like, oh, I can play music too. And then there was just this scene of all 3 of these NPCs just
talking and
playing music together. And we were like,
hey,
okay,
can we roleplay?
Hey, can we join in?
Hey, can we roleplay now?
And the thing is, as a DM, there's moments where you have to do this.
I will say, this is one of the things I despise the most as a dungeon master. When there is 2 NPCs that and the players they'll do it to me.
We will. We certainly will.
They'll be like, oh hey, Brian, meet Jeffrey.
Yeah.
And then I have to play Brian and Jeffrey meeting and talking to each other. It makes me cringe my genitalia off.
Yeah.
I just try and, I start a few sentences of the conversation and then I'm like... And then,
I hated that you used the word genitalia. I'm sorry.
Well, it was better than saying cock and balls.
Was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You tell me. And then, they'll have, the introductory things and then I'll be like... And then they start to, have a conversation and get to know each other, and then I'm like, "What are you guys doing?"
Yeah. Well, no, I think I'd like to hear this actually.
And I'm just like, no.
You know what? It's because we had Roveret as well, who was like our DMPC, I suppose.
Basically, yeah.
And
it was just an old man who was a genie warlock.
Yeah,
who was just there for all the mischief.
Yeah, there was a lot of meeting people that Roveret knew. So there was a lot of introducing Roveret to these NPCs and you just having to role play.
But the thing is, I would if it meant a lot and they did know each other and they were I would role play
and we loved hearing genuinely we loved hearing
the first few lines of them saying they missed each other and it was really good to meet you and I'm glad you're okay and things like that, because they care for each other. I'm happy to do little instances like that, but I'm not going to sit there.
Yeah. How about put a whole musical performance on?
What about putting a whole musical performance on between 3 NPCs when nobody at the table has had a chance to roleplay yet, when we're all new to the game and we're all new to meeting each other? I don't know if that's... I'm not going to say that wasn't the best way to get the game kicked off, but it wasn't.
And, the whole thing of have the king talk with the jester more than he does with the adventuring group that he invited.
So what's the party doing? What's the party doing at that point?
Oh, man. And you know what?
The party's just like...
I really don't mean this in a derogatory sense, but this is the point where you genuinely should consider either playing a single TTRPG, because they exist.
Yeah.
Or just writing a book. Yeah, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, but if you get far more joy as a DM acting between yourself, you genuinely should consider something like that.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have to waste other people's time.
Yeah. What do you mean? I had a great time watching the bad show.
The next one is it's you versus the players. You need to beat them. Yeah. I agree. I think
when they fail a saving throw of yours, you need to go,
yes,
wrecked, noob.
Yes.
Yeah. You die now.
Yeah. Or when you roll a natural 20, you need to proclaim yes.
Yeah, you need to scream yes. You actually need to stand up
and flip the table.
You need to dab on them.
Yep.
You need to flip the table.
Yep.
You need to dab on them.
Yep.
And then
say a yo mama joke.
Yeah, hit them with a yo mama joke. Yeah. You need to pants them.
Yep.
Yeah. You need to stand up and pants them publicly.
You need to, and then you film it and you upload it to Facebook.
To Facebook.com.
To Facebook.com.
Yeah. So the parents can see it.
Yeah. So the family can see it.
So the grandparents can see it.
Yeah. You send it in an email.
Yeah.
As an attachment to their workplace.
You send it out to everyone in the world.
Yeah. Yes, everyone. Yes.
You say you attach it to an email and you say, if you don't send this to another 10 people, the shadow man will come and kill you in the middle of the night.
Yeah. It becomes an urban legend.
Yeah, it becomes an urban legend.
It becomes a creepypasta.
Yeah, but no. So look, this is the moment where people who have had adversarial dungeon masters come and play at my table, and then they realize that I'm not like that. And it happened with Wabs, our friend.
Yeah.
Josh has a plan, and I'm like, oh, what's your plan? We're in combat. And then Wabs goes, no, don't tell him. He might he might like try and find a counter for it. And then Josh was like, nah, he doesn't do that.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice to be like, my players trust me to say their plans out loud, knowing that I would never like actively try and think of a counter to make that plan go badly.
Yeah.
Because I'm not against you. My bad guys are against you, and they don't know that information that you just said out loud.
Yeah.
Me as the Dungeon Master, Jack knows that information out loud.
And they can certainly react to it after the fact.
Yeah,
indeed.
They can, react accordingly like they would to.
This dog is so unsettled. Does he want his?
No. He's just being unsettled.
He's just. Dear me.
Spin around one more time. Maybe you'll sit down this time.
Stay with me. Okay.
The bad guys will. There we go. The bad guys will act accordingly to the plan as they would if they didn't know the information.
Yeah.
Because they don't know the information.
Yeah.
That's the first time they've heard it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, and I do not like Dungeon Master First Player. I do not celebrate my critical hits because I don't want to. Like, when I get a critical hit, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And the players and me, we're all reacting in the same way.
Unless we've been absolutely dunking on you.
I celebrate your critical hits.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I celebrate your successes. I cheer when you guys, get a crit or finish off a really dangerous enemy and stuff like that. Or get to a point in your story where, like, you succeed or overcome, stuff like that. I celebrate those with
and
you.
there's always room for jokes as well,
Because I'm just a storyteller.
Yeah.
I'm not a enemy.
Yeah.
My enemy, I am the player of the enemies, but I am not the enemy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This boy. What's going on? Do you want to dig? Is that what you're doing? Are you going to witness a dig live on air?
Oh my god.
I say pre-recorded.
Live.
Oh no, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Here he goes.
Oh!
All right. That's fine. You just... Yep. Okay. Yeah. And I think this is an attitude that just comes from when you've played in a game where your DM is DM versus player, and it becomes a case of, I need to beat them, I need to thwart them. It's easy to think that that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So when you move on to DMing, being like, oh, I have to do this. And especially if you've had players being like this as well, like there was a situation with one of our friends who was a DM. We played with someone who was the cheesiest person ever, and they made the DM's life really hard.
Yeah.
So the DM therefore had to punish all of us constantly, persistently throughout, just because of this one person's behavior, because that's just what they thought every player was like.
Yeah, but it's not. That was just that one player that made the game so bad and made the situation that we were playing in so bad that the Dungeon Master actually thought that all games that they played were like that.
Yeah.
And then they started to play more games with us without that player because we got rid of that player because they were a nightmare. And they were like, I actually quite like Dungeon Mastering, and it's nowhere near as stressful, and I don't need to think of every solution to every single problem because
without them,
because all they would do is try and find the cheesiest way around it, and I had to think about how they could cheese it and then counter it.
Yeah.
Which felt bad.
And, there was someone that we were acquainted with, no longer, but we were acquainted with them, and they would regularly ask you for advice for DMing, and it was their first time DMing. And they would say things to you like, yeah, well, I just want to get one up on them, and I just want to be able to I can't even remember words they used, but they were basically being
I want to make them hurt. I want to make them like upset. I want to like almost like crush their spirits.
Yeah, they did this, so I need to work out how to give it back to them. And you were like, that's not the right way to do it.
Like, this is the thing. If you aren't being a Dungeon Master, you have to be quite mentally resilient.
Yes.
Because you take like, because you are on the receiving end, you take a lot of L's.
Yes.
So that's the point.
Yeah.
Like, you play the bad guys who usually inevitably lose or, do win sometimes, but in the end will lose.
Yeah, and, even when the enemy wins, it's still an L because potentially you've lost someone in the party.
It's like when you win, the party is sad.
Yeah.
When you lose, the party is happy. And you need to get on that mental level of you're actually on their side.
Yeah, totally.
So when you lose, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
When you win, it's, maybe it was a loss for the party and that feels bad.
Yeah.
And it's really hard because there is a lot of people out there, like that person who I no longer talk to. They really just wanted the party to lose.
Yeah.
That was their main goal.
It really
like they
was.
wanted the party to suffer.
really
they wanted
was.
the party to, have a hard time.
Yeah.
And I get not making it easy. Like, I get not making it easy, but there's a difference between making it difficult and making it, like, feel bad.
Yeah, and I think this person very much reveled in, after the fact, the players being like, oh man, that was impossible, and they'd be like, yeah,
it was,
Yeah, they really
and they were like chuffed with themselves.
yeah.
That doesn't feel good.
No, it doesn't.
It's
That's the exact.
What you should make you feel good is when the party they feel like they've overcome some things.
Yeah.
Like, you put a challenge in their way, but they're so stoked that they got through the challenge and they're happy they're on the other side. And they're like cheering because they've had a great time and it meant a lot to them. That's what should make you feel good.
Totally. And you know what? I think a little bit of a tangent. That situation in that person was kind of like a good example of, we hear horror stories all the time of people being like, yeah, we did a session 0 and we went through all these rules and, the DM worked with me really closely with my character and they were really good about it. But then the moment you get into game, it's like none of that matters.
It's like you can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk.
You cannot
walk the walk.
Yeah,
so you can say
certainly.
that you want the players to have a good time, but as soon as they're like laughing and giggling and having a good time and enjoying themselves,
yeah, totally.
like you can't help but be like, nah, I don't like
yeah,
this.
and I get it. I do to a degree get it, right? I get it, especially what you said as a DM, you take a lot of L's.
You take
and that's
an unimaginable amount of
That's
L's.
just something that really, once again, isn't said enough. You take a lot of L's. You have to be on the level of, it's not me taking the L's.
It's my bad guys.
It's my enemies.
And this is the thing. It's like you need, and that's when Wabs was like, oh, don't tell Jack. It's just like, Jack isn't the enemy.
Yeah,
Jack's playing the enemy.
Yeah,
But
totally.
he isn't the enemy. I'm not here to make you have a bad time. I'm here to make you have a good time. But by having a good time, you're going to face challenging enemies who have motives and who have wants and needs as bad guys.
Yeah.
That's why they're good bad guys.
Yeah, totally.
But I am not the bad guy.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I want you to succeed, but I'm going to make it hard for you.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to make it feel sick in the end.
Yeah, and even when we first started playing, when you first started DMing, I was the same as well. I remember being like, I've got something planned, but I'm not going to tell you what. Because the situation of the people we played with before, that situation of that one player was so cheesy, the DM had to say no to everything and work out a counter to everything. And I knew that that's what the DM's thought was. So I was like, I could never try anything like that. And it carries over. The point is it carries over.
It does carry over, yeah.
And
it's like, I feel like that person who we were talking about maybe had that experience against the Dungeon Master.
I
So they were
agree.
like, well, that's exactly how I need to be.
I completely agree.
But you need to break the gen.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you certainly do. But I think it's you versus. Anyway, all that's it's you versus the players.
It's you versus the players.
You gotta beat them.
You gotta beat them.
How about that?
You gotta stick it to them.
You gotta. You really
you gotta
do.
pants them.
Yep.
Video it.
All
send
around
out
the
the
world.
email.
Send out the forum post. Go on
Send out the-
neopets.com and paste
The
it.
creepypasta.
Yeah, saying I'll appear at the end of your bed.
Yeah,
What
if
will
you
they
do
do?
not,
I'll pants you. Actually,
I'll pants you.
I'll pants you if you don't send this to
for
5 people.
eternity.
Yeah, totally.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one. Have a well thought out session 0. Have them make backstories and really build up characters and personalities. Kill them all in session 1 to teach them to value their precious little time adventurers have and to take the risk of death seriously. Session 2 is another session 0.
What a waste of time, eh?
Strange, actually, to be honest, that based on what I just said
Yeah.
there. But absolutely. I think that's great. I think I think so.
I think
get everyone excited. Waste everyone's time.
Especially like talk to them about the backstory, build
Totally.
up NPCs,
Totally.
world build.
World build.
Do you reckon Dungeon Masters do this? They say it's to value death, but what it actually is to get twice as much world building done.
Oh, nice.
So they can be like, okay, give
Smart.
me all the world building, tell me
Smart.
where you're from, tell me what it's like, give me a bunch of NPCs.
Yep,
Cool.
smart.
Now I'm going to slaughter all of your characters in session 1.
And then we'll just
now
rinse and
do it
repeat.
again.
Yeah.
And now I have a real fleshed out world.
Yeah, certainly. And then
So I don't have to actually world build it all myself.
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah. Great, Picasso. I like it.
That
I like
sounds pretty
it.
good. Do you want to know what? That's a really great start.
Yeah,
That's
there
why
you go.
That's what I
There
think
you
everyone
go.
should do.
Worst advice video. I think best.
That's the best. That's a great world
That's the
building
best
strat.
one. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, it's one of those YouTube videos where it's just like the biggest hack to world building when you don't have to do a thing.
In brackets, shocking.
Shocking. In brackets, genuine. Affectionately.
Not clickbait.
Not clickbait. But yeah, like
Do you remember we had a horror story from someone?
Yeah.
They went to their local game store.
Yes.
They spent, I think, like a month working with the DM. There was all these things.
It was like minimum of a page and a half.
Yeah,
or something like that.
They went in.
I need
TPK'd
all these
session 1.
NPCs. I need like your fears, your phobias. I need all of these things, like really in-depth character things.
TPK'd
like,
session 1.
But then they were like, and make sure that you have another character ready because you're probably gonna die. And then lo and behold, they go into session 1.
Interesting. We're talking about 2 different stories.
Oh my god, we're talking about 2 different
it's
stories.
the fact that there is so many stories like that.
Stories.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what? In my opinion, if that's how you show that death is a real thing to be scared of, you're actually trash at dungeon mastering.
I completely agree.
I think you're actually dreadful at dungeon mastering.
I agree.
You can just, hey, instead of just doing that, why don't you just say, hey, death is a reality in my game. If you die and you don't have Revivify or something like that, or the monetary cost, you will die permanently. So we need to just, be careful. There are dangers in this world. You are an adventure going on a dangerous journey. So, if you walk into the Dragon's Lair at level 1, that's on you.
Yeah, and this isn't to say avoid TPKs.
No.
So many tables end with a TPK.
Yeah.
That's just the reality
There's
of it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. If everyone's okay with it, then absolutely end it in a TPK.
What about in session 1 to make sure they understand the value of death?
That's so unfair, genuinely, especially if you don't go in being like, by the way, trust me, prepare. Let's not get too much into characters. Trust me, let's get into it. You do it, and then you reveal the plot from that point onwards.
Do you want to know what would be even worse in this situation? Is if they didn't mention death or TPKing at all. Got it in the session, TPK'd them straight away.
Yeah.
Made them make new characters.
I completely agree.
Like, if you hadn't even warned them that it was a possibility and then did this,
I completely agree.
Even worse.
Yeah, and the whole have them make backstories and really build up characters and personalities. Like, for me, and again, I'm aware that not everyone plays D&D like I do. That's completely normal and fair. I'm the type of person where beforehand I really get into character. I get art commissions. I put playlists together. I make a mood board. I make the pillars of my character. I really, really get into it, and that's my favorite part of thinking who they're going to start as, who they're going to end as. That's one of my favorite parts of it.
Yeah.
If this happened to me, which it nearly did, by the way, in one of the games we played, this to me reeks of nothing but a power play.
Yes,
this reeks of
exactly.
nothing but see, there you go.
And
now,
God, by the way,
fear me.
Yeah.
And let's go again.
Yeah.
Now that you understand, let's go again.
What the etiquette at this table is.
Yeah.
Now you know the power dynamic.
Yeah. Now you know not to fuck with me.
Yeah. I'm the fucking big lad, and you're nothing but just worms.
Yeah. I just think that's miserable.
And it's just boring. It's just like, do you want to know what? More than anything, that would make me just completely devalue your game.
It's absolutely.
Because now I'm not going to make a character I care about.
That actually devalues
death.
It doesn't make death important.
No, it doesn't make it important because now I'm going to make a throwaway character that I don't care about because I know that you're probably just going to kill them.
Yeah.
It's like, the thing is, if you let me know that it's scary, I make a character that I'm like I love and I care about. And then as we go, there is like, oh my God, this is so close.
Yeah.
And that makes me worry for my character.
Yeah.
That makes me, when we go into a battle, I have to think correctly.
Yeah.
I have to think strategically, because if I don't, I could lose this thing that I care about.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with saying to your players, by the way, always have a backup character prepared, because this is going to be a hard campaign, and death is real, and if your character dies, you're going to have to bring another character. I don't think there's anything wrong in saying that. I actually think prepping your players and saying, prepare a backup character, by the way, and if at that point anyone goes,
not for me,
then you know it's not the table to play at.
We didn't waste anyone's time. Like, prepare a backup character. Oh, it's that kind of game. I'm not good with character death.
I'm not interested.
I'm out. And then everyone else is like, okay, I like it. Like, totally. I want to be. Yeah. Like, that's the perfect game for me.
I completely. Yeah, totally.
If I know that you aren't scared of killing my character, then I'm gonna play to the best of my ability. And if I die, I die. Yeah. That's just either the way it is. I played it wrong. The dice went in my favor. Yeah. That's just the way, and that's what really, really excites me about games.
I wonder though, would you be okay dying in session 1?
No.
Yeah.
No, because the thing is, I think that's I've said this a million times, and I'll say it a million times again. That's not what Session 1's for.
No, I
Session
completely
1
agree.
is for all the players to meet.
Yeah.
And then we have a really, really low stakes combat where everyone gets to show each other what they're about.
Yeah.
They realize that each of them can fight.
Yeah.
Oh, this person might be a good companion for me.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's using a type of magic that my character's interested in.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to know that person.
Yeah.
They've got a blade that my people where I live like honor a blade like that.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to get to know where this character is blade from.
You prove that you're willing to put the fight in.
Yeah, you're willing to fight,
Yeah.
and I need people that are going to fight for my journey.
Yeah.
So hey, why don't we like get together and work together? It's like that's what Session 1's about. It's not about killing people.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think this completely
and I'm not saying that it can't happen.
death. Yeah.
Like anything can happen. That's why we play. That's why we play a dice-based game. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I think this totally devalues death, especially if you're doing it honestly just for the fact of dunking on him.
This one pisses me off.
Yeah, it pisses me off too.
This one
and I think it's
violently
because,
pisses me off.
like, I think anything like this where DMs encourage people, I wouldn't say force, encourage people to build up big backstories, to build up personality, NPCs, world build, and get really involved with you, to rip it away. I hate anyone wasting my time.
It's like a social contract, isn't it? It's
yeah,
like,
it is.
I can see and I value how much time you're putting in.
Yeah.
And like,
so I'm going to respect that.
I'm going to respect that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm going to shy away from it.
Yeah.
But just know if it happens, it's not going to be unfair.
Yeah.
Because as soon as it's unfair, then I've completely wasted your time. If it was just, the dice roll badly, like 10 sessions in or something like that, or you played it really badly, like you walked into the Dragon's Lair, like I said, it's like, that is on you. And I'm trying my best to like let you know that it's a dangerous situation. But as soon as I just disrespect your time, I would never expect you to ever turn up to my game ever again.
I think it's just because we're all, maybe we're not all adults, but everyone's time's finite,
yeah,
right?
100%.
No one has unlimited time, regardless of your situation. No one's time is unlimited.
If I spent hours
I'd be
and
devastated.
weeks putting a backstory together and thinking of bonds and stuff like that and world building, and then you killed my character in session 1, I'm instantly leaving.
Yeah, I completely agree.
couldn't leave any faster
Same.
because you don't respect my time.
Yeah, same. I agree. This next one, definitely revisit every session in your mind and convince yourself that it was terrible.
Oh my God,
Pick
yeah, 100%.
out every little thing. Be sure the players won't be back, and be surprised every time when they continue to do so.
This is not great.
Great advice.
This is not only great Dungeon Master advice. This is great mental health
I
advice.
I completely agree.
This is a surefire way to make your mental health ironclad.
Yeah, big juicy brain.
Big juicy ironclad brain.
I completely agree. Yeah, absolutely.
You're never gonna be, if you can overcome this. Your mental fortitude, unbelievable.
Yeah, that's on that.
Like, and this I think the best thing ever that has ever been said on one of our like streams, I think it was, is bums in seats means happy players.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was an episode, yeah.
If people keep coming back every single week, they either, one, which is the most unlikely thing, is hate it and just can't tell you.
Yeah.
Or they just enjoy being there.
Yeah, which if they're your friends, by the way,
they should.
You have to trust that they will tell you.
They have to.
You have to trust that they will.
Tell you. But if everyone's coming back every week to sit at a chair at your table and play for 5 hours,
totally.
That's probably because they're enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. And this is a very normal human thing to do, by the way.
Yeah.
And not just in D&D, but I feel like especially dungeon mastering leads to a lot of this because everything's such a variable, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is a set in stone binary. This is going to happen and this is going to happen and then it's going to go perfectly from here and then I'm going to say this at this time and they're going to say that. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's never going to go like that.
No.
Because the second you even introduce one other person, let alone 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people in, it's never going to go that way. And it's so easy to go, man, I should have. When you've had an argument with someone and then you're in the shower the next day.
So I should have said that.
Yeah. It's exactly the same thing, right? But you have to think. No one is judging you as hard as you're judging yourself.
Yeah, and I think as well. I think the thing is, you don't do it about the positives.
Yeah.
So
why'd you do it about the negatives? Totally. You don't go, that was an incredible session.
You don't sit there and go, man, I did this so well.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, so why you like, you will never run a perfect session.
No.
There will always be things that you could have done better.
Of course.
But the thing is, instead of taking them and beating yourself up about it, take them and learn from it. And take it as a learning experience. Hey, I asked for a role here and I shouldn't have because then we got stuck for ages on this thing. The rest of the session was great though. So next time I'm in that situation, I'm just not going to ask for the role.
Yeah.
You just don't beat yourself up about it.
Yeah.
Just learn from it.
Yeah. And,
I've made so many mistakes and I have learned from so many situations as a dungeon master. And there has been times and I've come to you and I've been like, I didn't enjoy that.
Yeah.
I messed that up. I was really upset with myself.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy the way it went.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of that came down to I was pre-planning the way things were going to go.
Totally.
And you all know me now after like this long of like 2 years, I now don't prep at all.
Yeah.
Because I am so comfortable with improvising that the moment I think something's going to happen a specific way and then it doesn't, it's not that I panic because I don't.
Yeah.
I just maybe get a little disappointed.
Yeah.
So now
I was exactly the same. Yeah.
Now I just don't plan anything.
Yeah, I was honestly, I was exactly the same. My first time DMing, first and last, I will never DM again. I did exactly the same thing. I went in, I was like, okay, yeah, well, when this happens and they're going to feel this certain way about this thing and they're going to understand the nuance in this and they're going to see this person like that and they're going to care about this. When that doesn't happen, it leads to disappointment. And I recognize that was coming from within. I can't control how my players feel about, and honestly, anything.
Yeah, and it's just like you describe something. You say, this watch, it is golden. It has a signature on the back. It ticks in a funny way, and it has a gemstone on it.
Yeah.
What you really care about is the fact that it's got a signature on it, and the signature is of this great artificer, and that's how they're going to get onto this next quest because one of the party knows about it.
Yeah.
But you say the gemstone, and all the players are like, oh my god, it's got a gemstone on it, and then they forget the fact that it's got a signature on it. It's just like, you can describe that watch.
Absolutely, but people are going to pick out what they want.
Everyone's going to pick out different things about
Absolutely.
it. The loot goblin's going to be like, it's gold, I want it, I steal it, and I don't show the party. And then they don't show the party.
And they never get
They never show the artificer. It's just
totally.
like, if you try and pre-plan exactly everything,
absolutely,
things won't go the way you need them to.
Yeah, I agree.
But,
and that leads to disappointment, one way or another.
But look, we're all our worst enemy.
Of course.
We're all our biggest critic.
Of course.
One big thing that you should do if you ever get like this is something called Stars and Wishes.
Yeah. Yes,
where
totally.
At the end of the game, people say, star is something that they loved. I really loved the combat. It was great. Wishes. I really wish we could have talked to that NPC for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, they really liked the session. They loved the combat, and now they want to learn more about this NPC. Yeah. Stars and Wishes is a great way to reinforce good things that they enjoyed about it, and also point your session in the right direction for the people who
always
want
moving
things.
Forward. Yeah, totally. I completely agree. And you said something earlier. You're like, that isn't a perfect session, and I kind of disagree. I think as long as everyone's having fun, that's a perfect session.
It's true.
Honestly.
Do you want to know what bestie? Sorcery.
As long as everyone, including you as the dungeon master and the players, are having fun, that's a perfect session.
100%.
That's why we play the game.
We play it
to
have
fun, to enjoy ourselves.
If you're stressing yourself out and beating yourself up and like really getting on your own back, you're not having a good time.
Yeah.
You're like as a dungeon master, you have to be enjoying yourself.
Yeah, totally.
For a number of reasons, because you got the hardest job. You put in the most effort. If you aren't enjoying it, stop dungeon mastering until you can figure out a way to enjoy it for yourself.
Yeah.
You need to enjoy it.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. All right. Penultimate. The second to last.
Okay.
Every single NPC needs a unique and completely different voice, or else you will ruin your player's immersion. Yes, say less. Go on, Jack.
Yeah. I am Jack.
What?
I am Jack. I create content for this channel. I run an Etsy business. I stream 3 times a week. I do my best. Do you want to know what I am not?
Go on.
An actor.
What?
Do you want to know what I'm not even beyond
An
that?
actor.
A voice actor.
What?
I have a handful of voices. Sometimes I surprise myself.
Yeah,
like I did with Ethel's voice.
yeah.
I think I'm good at voices.
You are.
I've got a handful of voices that I can do.
Yeah.
Maybe just more than a handful.
Yeah.
I think I've got maybe like 15 voices I could do.
I agree.
Now, sometimes I don't pre-plan voices at all.
Yeah.
Literally, I introduce a character and then I just
rip it.
push out a voice that I think they should have.
I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
And then that's where we land.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I even forget that voice because I didn't pre-plan it. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
If I'm breaking your immersion by not doing that, you need to give your dungeon master a fucking break.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, totally.
They're doing their very, very, very best.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know what? Maybe they're not, but I am doing my very best.
Yeah, I agree.
If that breaks your immersion, I'd like you to sit in my seat and do a better job.
Yeah, no, I agree. If everything else is great, but you decide that your DM not putting a voice on breaks your immersion.
For every single NPC,
Yeah.
important or not.
And the thing is, I don't think anyone actually believes this.
Oh, there's people who believe this.
Do you think?
Yeah.
I can't see a world in which someone actually truly thinks this. Someone actually truly goes, "Oh my god, my DM's not putting on a voice. My immersion is ruined." I can't see a world in which that's a true fact.
See, the thing is, I think immersion is a big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. No, it definitely is.
The thing is, I love immersion.
So
Immersion's
do I.
great. I love immersing myself. I love like pulling up pieces of art for new places that we
it's
go.
one of the most important things of the game.
I love changing the lighting for specific scenes.
Yeah.
I love, thinking like getting specific music
Yeah.
for places that we go. I love
Yeah.
that. That's great. But if my voice is the same for 2 NPCs in a row and that breaks your immersion, I don't want you sitting at my table.
Yeah, no.
I don't want you
agree.
sitting at my table.
No, I agree. And the thing is, it's like we can't expect our DMs to
Our regular
human being
9 to 5
yeah,
working,
totally.
5 days a week.
Yeah, totally.
Fucking
Finite
working,
time.
working at their desk job.
Yeah.
like,
No training.
no training, just ripping it because
Yeah.
they love D&D.
Yeah.
If you're getting upset with them about that,
Yeah.
you need to check yourself.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's kind of almost a cruel thing to have your immersion broken over.
Emotion.
And to be fair, I have actually realized very recently, for me, immersion actually isn't a big thing.
Yeah.
I like being immersed in the moment.
Mhm.
I don't care about anything outside of that.
But
you
the
know?
thing is, we love being immersed, but we also just rip stupid fucking out of character jokes all the time.
All the time, yeah.
And that would be immersion breaking for some
Yeah,
people.
and it's like when you're doing something on a map and you go, right, I don't have this prepared. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Take a break.
Oh my god, my immersion.
Yeah, that doesn't break my immersion. Even things like, when we're in the middle of talking and asking questions to NPCs and you're like, let me think, that doesn't break my immersion.
No, and you say something to an NPC and I'm like, the NPC fucking kills himself as a joke or something like that. And the NPC like runs away because he's like so sad. I'm like, he doesn't actually do that. And then we like continue the role play. It's just like, I would still rather make those funny jokes because our table's just like that.
Yeah.
Our table is just like full of people who want to just get together and have a good time with their friends.
Yeah.
And we love getting through the story. It's a very serious game. But if I couldn't sit there and make little jokes, Josh couldn't make little jokes, you couldn't make little jokes, everyone could just rip like little jokes all the time, it wouldn't be our table.
I agree.
And I think
I totally
that
agree.
would break immersion for some people.
I think so. I completely agree. I think,
And-
immersion is very personal and subjective to everyone. But I do think if you're saying that your DM not doing a different voice for every NPC breaks your immersion, I think you need to really consider why and really consider who your dungeon master is.
Yeah.
Oh, look, they're just your friend Jack.
Yeah, they're literally just your mate Jack.
Yeah. And you know what? Let's say even if they were an accomplished voice actor, even if they were like an actor, like you can't expect people to care about the same things you care about in the same way. Of course, people will align themselves with you,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's fair to hold it against your DM for breaking your immersion.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I
Yeah.
don't think that's fair. I can't see anyone who truly believes that and truly would give their DM a hard time for it. But then again, the world's a vast place.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying that there's definitely are people out there, but there's definitely people out there who would be upset if they didn't use a different voice for every single NPC. They'd be like,
I think that's
this
ridiculous.
NPC, is this person that we've met before? Because that's the exact same voice.
I think that's very unfair, and I think that's very judgy, and I think that's really, really unnecessary to need.
I agree.
You don't need that,
You
in my
don't.
humble opinion.
Nah, you don't.
You don't
Not
need
at all.
that. All right, the last one. This is it.
The ultimate?
This is the ultimate.
Ultimate.
It is simply get a party of 9 unmotivated players and only hold sessions when everyone can be there.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
You'll play so often.
So often.
Oh my god, you'll play.
You're going to play more than most.
Oh my god. Every day?
Every day. Every moment of every day.
Every other day? Every hour?
Every second.
Every second.
Yeah. You're going to, oh my gosh, so much D&D.
Get yourself a bunch of gamers
9.
who don't care
9 of
about
them.
D&D at all.
Yep.
Never played, don't have any interest in it.
Yep.
Make sure that you put the rule in that
We only play with everyone.
We only play with everyone.
Totally.
If one person can't make it,
Yep.
we don't
We don't play.
And I think you are really setting yourself up for a rip-roaring success.
You're really going to play D&D so much.
You're going to play so much D&D, I can't believe it.
It's going to be
I'm
wild.
kind of jealous how much you're going to play D&D. Nah, like, look.
You know, listen. Organizing, regardless of the unmotivated,
Yeah.
organizing 9 people, not including the dungeon master, must be hard.
Unbelievably
it must
hard.
Be. It has to be, right?
9 people, like, even if you had 9 unbelievably enthusiastic people, but you still had the rule that you didn't play without somebody,
Gosh.
you probably still wouldn't play most weeks.
Yeah, gosh.
Because things come up. Look, we have in our Discord and in our stream, people come in every stream and they're like, oh, D&D got cancelled today, somebody couldn't make it and stuff like that. And these people live and die by the sword that is Dungeons and Dragons. That is TTRPGs. They love them. They fucking... They just... It's their passion. It's everything they want to do. And still, they don't get to play every week.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Imagine organizing a massive group of people who didn't...
Totally.
Who weren't that fussed.
And, you know, especially adults. I think this is more relevant to adults than maybe like teenagers or like young adults, right?
Yeah.
You know, adults who have full-time jobs, who have maybe children, who have pets, who have activities outside of work, like
busy social schedules.
Yeah, who have family they need to look after.
People who work away.
Yeah, like that's when it really gets so very hard.
Yeah.
The you know, BBG's the...
No, scheduling is the BBG of all games.
Scheduling is the BBG. It's so true.
It's so true.
And you know, I think to this, my best piece of advice would be, in your session 0, you make a rule and you decide with everyone what happens when one person can't make it.
2 people.
Especially
3. with a party that size.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like we could probably still play with one person not there.
I recognize that 9 is pretty unrealistic. Let's be honest.
I mean, it's not. Somebody came in the other day and they were like,
I have 12.
Stream, they were like, yeah, I play with 13 people.
Listen, hats off to you. Hey,
13 people.
I hope your players are tucking you in at night and kissing you on the forehead. I really do. But I think you have to set up a rule. We have a rule. There's only 4 of us. If one person can't make it, we'll still play.
2 people can't make it, we don't play.
Then we don't play.
And we do still weigh up if we should or shouldn't play with that one person.
Depending on where we're at.
If we're going into the BPG fighting one person can't make it, we don't play.
Yeah,
if
honestly,
we're going into that person's arc and they're not there, we don't play. But if it's something, if it's a session that's not massively to do with them specifically, they'd be just as involved as they always are.
Totally.
But not to do with them specifically, we'd probably still play.
Yeah, and to add to that, work out what that happens to that player. Does that player just kind of get benched and we just pretend that they're there, but mechanically they're not?
Yeah, like we pretend they're there for funny moments and stuff like that when we steal their money.
Yeah.
But they aren't there when it comes to combat yet.
Totally.
Or like if they are in combat, do we, right?
That was a weird noise. Did you hear that? No?
They are there during combat, but they sit in the back lines and the DM doesn't target them very much and stuff like that.
Or, are they happy with if there is a combat, their character can be piloted and can be used and they trust everyone to do that. You know what I mean? And if they are piloted, who pilots them? Is it the DM? Is it the party? Do you not care?
Yeah.
You know? And it's totally fine to... The whole immersion thing, it's totally fine to just be like...
They're just
not here.
They're just like, not there. We don't need to worry about them.
Yeah,
we don't need to stress about them. We don't need to...
Yeah. There doesn't have to be a reason.
There doesn't have to be a reason.
There doesn't have to be a storyline.
And sometimes Like we do a mixture.
Yeah.
Like we'll forget that they're there for ages, then we're like, oh yeah, they're
Oh
here.
gosh,
oh my God.
yes.
And then in combat, usually somebody like you all make decisions about what they
and
do,
we're all
stuff
very
like that.
respectful to honestly what that character has.
Mhm.
If maybe there's going to be more combat,
If there's a choice as well as a dungeon master between hitting Margaret's character and Josh's character's not there,
you'll hit
I'm
me.
gonna hit you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, just to make it like not stressful.
Totally.
Because that's not what we want.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, honestly, so many scheduling issues. Listen, life is life, and it's busy, and there's always things going on, and there's going to be weeks where months maybe you can't play D&D, and that's life. But I think, honestly, working out, okay, what's the limit of where we don't play if someone can't make it, and what happens when they can't make it?
Yeah.
That's such an important thing to put into session 0.
Unbelievably important thing.
Yeah, it is. And that, honestly, that remedies a lot of the kind of completely stopping still and not knowing what to do, you know?
I agree.
And that's it.
And that's it.
What do you think? What do you think of the topic?
I thought that was hilarious. I thought that was so much fun. I love that so much.
Good. Once again, thank you, Teddy, for that. That was a really fun
great.
one.
I love
you know
that.
what? I ummed and ahed about it, and I wasn't sure if it was a fun enough topic, but I think it was. I think it was quite funny.
I thought it was great. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a fantastic episode.
Cool.
It was really good. Thanks so much, Teddy.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Margaret, for putting this together.
Thank you.
Come join us this weekend, Sunday, with Careful Cantrip coming on the stream.
Sunday the 24th of
Come
November.
and hang out with that. Come check us out on Friday as well. We stream every Friday, every Sunday, every other Tuesday.
We'll be doing something for my birthday on Friday. I don't know what, but
we'll buy you
something.
cake.
Yay.
We'll buy you cake and put candles on it.
Yay. Okay.
Check out our Patreon down in the description. No. Down in the description if you want extra content from me and Margaret. We do things like campaign updates and advice streams and hangout streams. So just come and hang out with us. It's great. www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. Go and check out the Pride Collection. 10% of the Pride Collection will go to a local charity, Heart Gables, LGBTQIA plus charity near us. So thanks so much for all the support on that. Check out all the other merch. It's coming to Christmas time. Pick yourself up some merch. Pick yourself up some merch
you know
for Squaddy
what?
B.
I want to get another merch design out for Christmas time. Whether I do or not is another situation entirely. But I would like to. No.
Right.
Nothing. I've got nothing. I've got absolutely now.
Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the bell. Thank you so much for all the support you show all the videos. We love you so much. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you.
Yes.
We have been the Eldritch Podblast, and we're going to see you on Thursday. Bye.
And another huge thank you to our patrons for all of your support. A big shout out to our fellow entities.
Hoobs,
Ariel,
Tula,
Runarian,
Arkham Labs Cosplay,
Maddie, Luna,
Teddysaurus,
Caspian, J-Spot,
Ultrafail,
Dallin M,
Sleepy,
Joe Dragonlord 2,
Alistar,
Lawkeeper Society,
Ricky B,
Danny Phantom,
Catherine,
Faustskin,
Azuriel,
Panda Queen Plays,
Xylo Boy,
Lucas Iapetus,
Luna River, Christomancy,
The Tacos Are Here,
Gavin,
Raynanana,
Aubrey in Spring,
Scrimbles.
KC Joe 1313.
Thank you again for all your support.
And if you too would like to become a patron of the Eldritch Podblast, check the link below.